That's funny. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Artichoke. Are there any people here for the first time? Wonderful. Welcome. And I know I see some familiar faces, and also thank you to those people who keep coming back. If you didn't know, we are a 501c3 nonprofit, so even though tax season is over, it resets. So if you're looking at anything for this year and you've got to take those oh so wonderful IRA distributions, please put us in the mix for that. Couple things, we are live streaming tonight, so this show will be up on YouTube by the time you get home, so if you want to relive everything, you can. And in that vein, if you want to turn your phones and other devices off, that will make for a much cleaner live stream. And even though Mac is using this one restroom, we prefer you not do that during the show, because again, we're live streaming, but it's your call. There are 2 other restrooms in the building. When you came in, there's a little hallway that goes over to our instrument store. So if you want to go that way and use the restroom on the back wall, that's a good choice. Yay! And then there's also one upstairs if you want to get your steps in. If you like this kind of music and you're just discovering us, we do have an email list, and we will send you out newsletters that tell you about all the wonderful shows that we have here, because if you haven't been here before, to be able to hear and listen and see like this is pretty special. So we want to make sure everybody knows what's going on. So I think Mac's ready now. And thanks to Eric for putting this together. He had to suffer through me being crazy after our last burglary, so we got it all handled, and we hope you all have a great time tonight. Thank you all for coming.
So I'm here to introduce Mac Walter, and to say we are going to have a long set, and then a little bit of time to refresh your beer, drinks, snacks, whatever, and then a short set. And we need to all be out of here by 9, so you will be out of here before 9. So it'll be an hour and 40 minutes, an hour and a half of music, something like that. Mac and I are from Baltimore, Maryland. Mac is my oldest friend in the world. I met Mac when I was 3, and he was 5. He was the first person I ever saw play a guitar, and he is the first person I ever saw who had a 10-speed bike. And there was a time when Mac and I would play music every single Friday night for a couple of years. We played. I was never as good as him, and finally I gave up trying. But he's kind enough to let me sit down on a couple of pieces here. And as far as the bikes go, Mac and I, in the summer of 1971, rode our 10-speed bicycles from Oakland, California to Baltimore, Maryland in 30 days, 101 miles a day, and we had some life-changing experiences on that trip.
And we're still friends.
Yes. So I'm going to turn the stage over to Mac, and hope you enjoy the music.
Well, I think he's basically explained our basic getting to know one another. And Eric and I have been through a lot of various permutations over the years. Anyway, I'd like to welcome everybody to this wonderful venue. I'd never heard of it. He said, "Would you like to play a gig?" And I said, "Well, I guess so, sure. What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I got this little place down the street that does live music, and I'll get you a gig." So here I am. So I know a few of you in the front row, and everybody else I don't know. So I'm glad you're here. And I guess I'll play. That's a song I haven't played in about 20 years, but I had a group, or a duo actually, with my wonderful cousin John Cronin, who spent 7 years playing with Ian Tyson. Some of you may know who he is. Great Canadian songwriter. And John and I had a duo, and that was one of the songs that we opened up our show with. And it's called Drive-In G, because I'm terrible with names, and I can never think of anything. So it's a key of G, and it sort of drives. So that's why it got that name. And John would play the second part, but you've probably noticed I have this device down here. It's a looper, and it's basically revolutionized my life because it enabled me to do arrangements and play extra parts. I don't try to keep up with some of these amazing guitarists. They can do it all in one, with their hands. So anyway, but everything you hear is played live. Nothing's pre-recorded. I will say that. So anyway, speaking of John, one summer I was up there in British Columbia where he lives, and he was working with this cowboy storyteller, and he had to go off for the weekend. And he lived in Invermere, Canada, which is, if you look at the point of Idaho, go up another 120 miles in the Columbia River Valley. That's where he lived. It's a really beautiful part of the world. And it's between the Purcell Mountains on the west and the Rockies on the east, and it's in this beautiful valley. So he was out away for the weekend, and I'm sitting out here looking at this beautiful scenery and just started playing. And this next song was inspired from that scenery. It's called High Valley Sunrise. All right, enough of that. Okay, so Kathy went to all this trouble to make this song list for me, and I can't remember any of the songs. So, let's see here. So, have any of you ever heard of a guy named John Prine? I just wanted to ask. I don't do any of his songs, but I thought that some of my bad jokes. Eric and I were talking about John Prine, and we're playing the song a little bit today, so made me think of doing this one. Was an old woman aimed after her mother. Old man was another, child has grown old. He dreamed of lightning, lightning was desire. Old house would have burned down a long time ago. Make me an angel, flies from a gummer. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Leaving this living, just a hard way to go. Gone was a one time I had her a cowboy. There wasn't much to look at, just a free rambling man. There was a long time, no matter how she cried, their tears just flowed by like a broken down man. Make me an angel, far from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Leaving this living, just a hard way to go. Flies in the kitchen, I can hear them, they're buzzing. I ain't done nothing till I woke up today. But how can a person go to work in the morning, come home in the evening with nothing to say? Make me an angel from Montgomery. Make me a poster of an old rodeo. Just give me one thing I can hold on to. Leaving this living, just a hard way to go. Well, usually when I'm home, my pedal boards are slightly bigger. I have an overdrive pedal, which is really nice for playing rock and roll slide, but I left it off of this one because I had to fit this in my suitcase. All right, so I have a couple of really, really very good friends here, Eric and Annie. And years ago, I played a song for these guys. And I'll see if I can remember it. It's been a long time. That's a song for Eric and Ann. A while back, I had a Taylor guitar, and I had just gotten out of a touring band I'd been in for a bunch of years, and I didn't even own a decent acoustic, and my old Yamaha guitar was worn out. And so I needed to buy a guitar, and the Taylor had just come out with their new anniversary model. And I said, well, that looks a pretty guitar, so I went and checked one out and bought it and played it for about an hour. And my thumb started swelling. So I said, what's going on with this thing? So I put it back in the case and got it out next day and played it for an hour, and my thumb swelled again. So I went through this for 2 years before I finally realized that I can't play this damn thing. It just doesn't work. So I sold it. I traded it in actually for this guitar, ironically. And This was years ago. There was a wonderful music store in Philadelphia that catered to high-end acoustic guitars, which ironically, this one came from as well. This used to be my guitar. Eric owns a bunch of my old guitars. And I actually got one of them back. But we won't go into that tonight. But anyway, so this song, I'm going to precede it with a instrumental version of the song that was written for the Civil War series, and Ashokan Farewell. And then I'll go into the song I wrote for Taylor. It had a happy ending. I did find that the guitar had found a happy home. So that takes care of that one. So.
Did you ever find out what caused the swelling? Was it
The neck shape. Too shallow. Taylor had a marketing strategy that was designed for all the baby boomers who used to play in rock bands when they were in college, and they wanted to get back into playing guitar, but they didn't want to buy electric guitars and have loud amplifiers. So they made a neck profile very shallow, very thin, so you could really fly to play leads on. But when you play a lot of chords, it didn't give you a whole lot of support. So when I'm talking about this depth here, I actually own a Taylor now, which I can actually play. I don't play it very often, but I played it a lot because I live in the lovely state of southern Alabama, and I'm originally from Maryland. And, well, what happened was I was on tour, and I called Kathy up, my wife here, and I said, Kathy, I can't resist. I just bought a guitar. She said, no problem. I just bought a house. No discussion. No, like, what do you think about this idea? She just did it. My wife is a very positive person, you know, and I think like this, and she thinks like this. And so when I first met her, and I said, well, you know, let's take a little vacation. We'll go spend the night in a B&B down the street and come back the next day. And she said, the hell with that. We're going away for a month, and we're going to go someplace nice. So that's when I realized that my life was about to change. So I divided my life into half, pre-Kathy and post-Kathy. And I must say, post-Kathy is way better than pre-Kathy. So anyway. So enough of that. I'm just an old chunk of coal. Oh, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna glow and grow till I'm so beautiful, perfect. Gonna put a smile on everybody's face. Oh, I'm gonna kneel and pray every day, lest I become vain along the way. 'Cause I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Well, I'm gonna learn the best way to walk. I gotta search and find a better way to talk. I'm gonna spit and polish my old rough head self, plus I get rid of every single flaw. 'Cause I'm gonna be the world's best friend. I'm gonna go around shaking everybody's hand. 'Cause I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. just an old chunk of coal, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. I'm gonna glow and grow till I'm so Newport perfect. Gonna put a smile on everybody's face. Oh, I'm gonna kneel and pray every day. Have stopped to come vain along the way. 'Cause I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. 'Cause I'm just an old chunk of coal now, Lord, but I'm gonna be a diamond someday. Well, where I live, country is king. And this next song is not really technically a country song, but there's a lot of singer-songwriters down in that area. A lot of really good ones, I might add. And this song here is a song by Lyle Lovett. My capo's falling apart. Little thing about If I Had a Boat. If I had a boat, go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. We could all be together and go out on the ocean. Me upon my pony on my boat. And if I were Rogers, sure enough be single. Couldn't bring myself to marry in there. It'd just be me and Trigger. We can go riding to the movies, buy us a boat, and on the sea we sail. So if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. We could all be together, go out on the ocean, be upon my pony on my boat. Tonto didn't look dirty, work free. But Tonto, he was smart. One day she came and saw me. Kissed my up on the boat, I'm going out to sea. So if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. We could all be together, go out on the ocean. Me upon my pony on my boat. If I were like lightning, I wouldn't need no sneakers. Come and go wherever I will be. I'd scare 'em by the shade tree, I'd scare 'em by a light pole, but I would not scare my pony on my boat out on the sea. So if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride 'em on my boat. We could all be together, go out on the ocean. me upon my pony on my boat. So if I had a boat, go out on the ocean. If I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. We could all be together, go out on the ocean, me upon my pony on my boat. Me upon my pony on my boat. Eric, you feel like playing a tune? All right, so we're going to start off with a little bluesy thing here. And as you know already, I'm not very good at naming songs. So when John and I were recording our first Cousin CD, by the way, I do have CDs out there. I know people don't buy them anymore, but if anybody's interested, there are some CDs out there, and a couple, in my opinion, fairly decent ones. Anyway, this song has the very clever title of Max Blues.
Is that coming out?
Just so long as I'm louder, that's all that matters. So I'm going to turn the mic over to Eric now for this next song that he's been desperately trying to teach me over the last 24 hours. And I'll probably totally screw it up. But it's a composition of Eric's. It's a beautiful thing.
So I like to give myself a little challenge. And on a warm spring morning in Winchendon, Massachusetts, I was sitting on the front porch of a pre-revolutionary farmhouse and thinking about rock and roll and the rock and roll cliches. You just heard that, actually. But I thought, what if you took those notes and reharmonized them and thought about them in a different way, and you would come out with a song that's like this. It's called Rising.
It was close. I made several mistakes, but anyway, this song, when he sent it to me, he said, you know, what do you think about playing on this? And I listened to it. I have a song that's sort of similar to that. We haven't seen each other in at least 10 years. And a couple of years ago, I bought a guitar from a great songwriter from my area named Rock Killough. It was a wonderful, in fact, I've got a song here that I know. I probably should play it. But anyway, we'll get back to that. And I said, you know, it's a lot similar to what you just sent me. And so Eric has always been a subconscious influence of mine because he is a brilliant composer. He's written some amazing music. He doesn't remember any of it, but it's really, really great stuff. But anyway, so this is a song that I wrote for Rock Killough called Rock's Waltz. And he had a little Alvarez guitar similar to this. And I always coveted that guitar, so he finally sold it to me for a very good price. And so I got it home, and I wrote the song on it, and I sent it to him, and he said, wow, nobody's ever written a classical piece of music for me before. So anyway, here it is, Rock's Waltz. Assuming I don't try to play Eric's tune in my mind here. All right. So I'm 70, almost 77 years old, and I started playing music when I was 15 years old. That put me in the middle of the folk craze. And when I first started out, I probably knew 30 folk songs, you know. Well, I remember 3. And this is one of them, and I'm going to ask my wonderful wife to come up here and sing this with me. Yep, sorry, you got to put that thing down. iPhone madness, you know, it drives me nuts everywhere I go. People that got their, and anyway. Little, we're doing Ramblin' Boy.
That sounded like it's a lesson too late for the learning.
Well, we could do that as well. Would you rather do that one instead?
No, I'm like, oh no. Whatever. We'll figure it out as we go.
That's the second one of the songs I remember. But this one's called Ramblin' Boy.
Okay.
He was a and a friend always. He stuck with me through the good old days. He never cared if we had no girl. We rambled through the sleet and snow. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your winds bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your winds bring you joy. And toss a town, we chanced the street. We thought we'd try and work one day. The boss said he had room for one. My old pal, we'd rather buy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your runs bring you joy. To you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Lay one night in a junk on cab. The weather it was cold and damp. He got the chills and he got 'em bad. And they took the only friend I had. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. He left me here ramble on, fourth verse. My rambling pal, well, he's dead and gone. And if when we die, we go somewhere, I'll bet you $1, he's a rambling there. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Here's to you, my rambling boy. May all your rambles bring you joy. May all your rambles bring you joy. Yes, it was. What was the other one?
I don't know.
This one.
Surprise, Kathy.
That's the other thing. For all you guitar players, I use a banjo tuner on my D string. It makes it really nice because I was not touring, but I was working with this local musician in the area, and I never knew what key he was going to play in. And then he would go into a song that required a low D string, and I'd be sitting there going, trying to tune it, and he'd glare at me. So I started using mechanical devices to get to a D note fast. But anyway, this song is from the great Van Morrison, and it's probably one that probably many of you musicians know. And I'm going to ask Kathy to help me sing it. We were born before the wind, also younger than the sun, and now the bonny boat was won as we sailed into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sails cry, smell the sea and feel the sky, and let your soul and spirit fly. We sailed into the mystic. When the foghorn blows, you know I'll be going home.
And when the foghorn blows,
oh, I want to hear it. I don't want to fear it. I want to rock your gypsy soul, just like way back in the days of old. And together we will fall into the mystic. When the foghorn blows, you know I'll be going home.
and when the foghorn blows,
oh, I want to hear it. I don't want to fear it. I want to rock your gypsy soul.
and together we will fold into the mystic. And together we will fold into the mystic. And together we will fold
into the mist.
at the end of that.
You have a short memory span for somebody so damn smart. Okay, so how are we doing for time here, by the way, Eric? I've been keeping. It's 5:08. Am I supposed to stop now?
We can stop for a couple, we can do,
Okay, I'm going to do one more here.
and then we'll have like a 10-minute break.
10-minute break to say hi,
If
get
anybody
more
wants to
wine.
leave- If anybody wants to leave, it's okay.
No, it's not.
But the second set is really good.
It's yeah, we can't stay here late. So anyway, this is a song, the first song I ever wrote in my life, and these guys know it. It's changed a little bit over the years, but Eric said if you come out, you have to do this song. So I'm not going to talk about it much because it's a really silly song, but it's basically a song written by an insomniac and fantasies of nightmares and stuff like that. So anyway, it's called Down on the Ground. If I turn the E string up. I lived up on the mountain. Oh, had a shack down by the grove. All night long, you could bet your $1 hollering back and forth just for fun. Animals scramble beneath the bushes. There's a terrible racket out there in the woods, hollering and yelling at a furious pace, enough to make your dishes shatter all to bits. Down on the ground, down where the ants belong. Oh, what a mess they love to make. They belong down where the ants belong, down on the ground. Well, I am a newcomer to the love that light in that valley beneath the hill. The other night, just before I went to bed, they started up again. They started yelling, oh, Heidi, they say he's humongous. And huge would not suffice to describe her. Not only are they mean and deceptive, but they're efficient as hell when it comes to getting in a fight. Down on the ground, down where the ants belong. Oh, what a mess they love to make. They belong down where the ants belong, down on the ground. stay was short down in the village. In fact, there's a universal turnover down there every day. Oh, no one can stand it. Even the dogs reprimand it. There's hollering up in the woods every day. Oh, how do you lift up on the mountain? Oh, Ho had a shack down by the grove. Hollering and yelling at a furious pace. Enough to make your dishes shatter all of it. Down on the ground, down where the elves belong. Oh, what a mess they love to make. They belong down where the elves belong. Down on the ground, down on the ground, down on the ground. Okay, so it's break time, but you're not allowed to leave. So anyway, no, seriously, I hope you all stick around, and we'll be very back. We'll be very, very back very shortly.
And you can sit or stand and dance or go to the bar.
Places, everyone. Places, everyone.
We have a short set. We'll be done at about 8:45, and you'll get home and crawl in bed and have a great night's sleep after this music.
Well, back down in Alabama, there was a couple of musicians that particularly were, in my opinion, standouts. And one of them was this guy named Rick Whaley, who was from New Jersey. And he was just a brilliant, brilliant musician. Great player. He didn't play solos so much, but he knew all the chords. He played all kinds of... And he could take a song and he would just make it his own. The way he did James Taylor, Fire and Rain was totally unbelievable. And, you know, it just, all these beautiful jazz chords. They had an incredible voice. Anyway, he passed away a year before last. And so we have this big festival called the Frank Brown International Songwriters Festival. And I've been fortunate to be part of it for the last 20 years. And my role is sort of, well, I get hired a lot to play guitar for other songwriters. I do a lot of that down there. And anyway, but I got great good fortune to work with Rick several times over the years. But when he passed, I came up with this instrumental tribute to him. It's called, well, it's just called Rick's Song, or Tribute to Rick. It goes like this. running out of time here, so I guess I should probably pull this one off now or never. Number of years back, I was invited to join TrueFire as a online instructor, which I attempted to do, but I failed miserably. I'm just not very good at doing teaching videos to people I can't interact with. I had a very hard time with that. I love to teach, but I just couldn't do the remote thing very well. So anyway, but it gave me unlimited access to all their library, and so I was perusing through things, and I get requests for this song periodically. At the clubs that I play, it's an old instrumental called Classical Gas, and so I went on there, and Tommy Emmanuel was teaching it. So I watched his version, and of course he does all this amazing percussion stuff. I can't do any of that stuff, but I could get some ideas, and it reminded me how the song went. So I came up with a version of Classical Gas. So that's what I'm going to play. Well, thank you, guys. Um, as I was saying before, 40 years ago, I met my wife, Kathy, and she really did change my life in a number of very wonderful ways. And so I was writing songs, and I said, I need to write a song for Kathy. So I wrote a song, and I called it I'm Gonna Love You for a Long, Long While. She said, no, you're not. You're going to call it Kathy's song. So if you look on the CD, it's on one of the CDs back there, you'll see it says, Long, Long While, parentheses, Kathy's song. Anyway, my wonderful friend, and one of my very, very dearest friends, Mr. Eric Walsh. And by the way, I owe him a huge thanks because he's the one that made all this happen. Thanks to Eric. He's going to play with me on this one. He doesn't know it, but that doesn't matter. He'll figure out something to play. Anyway, it's a standard 32-bar jazz form for all you musicians, and it's in the key of E. So if any of your horn players, get them out. This microphone did a number on me when I first got here.
Matt cut his hand as soon as he got here.
Soft summer breeze, whisper in the trees. Soft summer breeze, so right. Thinking of you in my fantasies. Thinking of you tonight. Your bright golden hair and your gentle smile catch a spell on me. So all I want is just to be with you. I'm gonna love you for a long, long while. How things have changed since you came to me. You turn my world around. Now I have found all those fantasies. You turn my world upside down. Being with you makes my life complete. There ain't nothing to spare. So all I want is just to be with you. I'm gonna love you for a long, long while. Whoa, what was the time? Oh, I needed love. But it was not to be. Whoa, and there were times, oh, I'd meet someone, but they were not for me. Here in the dark, you reach out to me. You gently take my hand. Your gentle touch brings you close to me. And that touch is my command. Oh, how my soul craves your soft embrace, seeking your warm demand. This night alone, I'll just breathe you in, 'cause I'm gonna love you for a long, long while. Whoa, this night alone, I'll just breathe you in, 'cause I'm gonna love you for a long, long while. That's for my girl. Let's give a hand for Eric Walsh, because he's never played this song with me before, except in practice yesterday.
And I would like to express a deep debt of gratitude to the people at Artichoke Music who made this easy for us.
They really did. A very professional operation.
What a great community resource this is. Look at this. I mean, when we walked in, there was the jazz band, jazz jam session for 2 or 3 professional musicians and 2 or 3 high school students playing jazz with professionals. And they got
Playing
the,
real
they got
jazz.
the, they got the songs, they played them, got the songs to take home and practice for a week and come back and play them again and practice. And so that they got a tremendous sense of accomplishment and mastery working with professional musicians. And we thank Artichoke for that, and for the rap music they have, and for the queer music they have here, and for folk music, the blues, everything. And I sort of feel like those high school students now, because I'm getting to play with a professional musician. So we're going to end this concert with a piece that you'll all recognize, an instrumental version of sort of what we were and what we hope to be.
I think so.
Thank you all so much. Thank you for coming. Drive safely.
And thank you so much for coming. And it's great seeing you all and meeting some of you and all that good stuff. And stay well and be well, and we hope for the best in all these uncertain times. Good night, you all.
But there's just one last quiz for those of you in the audience. If you can answer this, you get no prize. But if you're on the edge of a mine shaft and you push a grand piano down the mine shaft and it hits the bottom and it plays a chord, what chord would that piano be playing? A flat minor. You got it. Okay.
That busted that one for you,
Yes.
didn't it?
Da-da-da, and that we need a hook, you know.
All right, thank you all. Bye for now.